welcome back to As Told by Key. I am Key, and it is Tuesday, and we are doing Killer Kid Monday. I told you guys on my Sunday video that last week was a little hectic, and so I was kidnapped yesterday legally by my husband, so don't worry, I'm okay. We just needed a day where I wasn't doing much of anything and he wasn't doing much of anything. And we just went out and window shopped and went to the mall, and I was cleaning up and I came across this really cool Cheesecake Factory gift card. So we went and got some food. And that is what I did yesterday. And I had every intentions on getting in here. I was like, you know what? We had an amazing day, but I need to get in the house and edit out this video. It didn't work. Every time I went to start to do it, I would doze off. I was sleepy. We left the house at maybe 9 that morning, and we were gone until about 4 or 5 that night. So I was completely sleepy. That is why we're getting this video today, but we are going to get it done. If you do not follow me on my social media, please go follow me on my social media. Check the description so you can find me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. If you like what I do here, please thumbs up these videos, share them if you care, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification so that you are notified every single time I upload a new video. I have an announcement today at 6 o'clock. So if you do not follow me on there, you're going to miss it and you won't know what's going on with my new series until I actually air it. Now, people have been asking me off and on, what do you want to do with your channel? It's kind of all over the place. And it is, because I am literally all over the place. But I try to categorize everything for you guys so that it is at least organized for you. Because I do not mind being all over the place. I know a little bit about a little bit that knows a lot. And I share all of that. So if you are into my jewelry review things, please check in the description. I will have a link for all of my jewelry reviews. If you're into my TV reviews and my movie reviews, there's a playlist for you. If you're into my Killer Kid Mondays, there's a playlist for you. If you're into Thursday Teas, it's a playlist for you. And if you're going to be into what my new series is going to be about, there will be a playlist for you. So basically, my channel is different because I spend a lot of time doing different things so that you guys don't get bored of me. Because sometimes I get bored of me if I talk about the same thing a little too much. So let's jump into this video. Let's jump into this video of Jesse, the Boston boyfriend, Pomeroy. I have been saying his name wrong all night, and now that I have gotten some sleep, I can say it right. Pomeroy. Now, Jesse was born November the 29th, 1859, and he died September the 29th, 1932. He was born in Charleston, Massachusetts, to father Thomas J. Pomeroy and mom Ruth Ann Snowen. Thomas, his dad, was a war veteran, and Ruth Ann, his mom, was a dressmaker. His brother, he's the youngest of the two. He has a brother named Charles Jefferson Pomeroy, and Jefferson was a normal kid, okay? Charles was normal. Somebody should have given Mr. Jesse a little bit of a memo. Now, from 1871 to 1872, reports were made that younger boys were being enticed individually into remote areas of woods by a slightly older boy, and then they were attacked. They were hit with belts, they were hit with fists, they were hit with rocks and bricks. There were also 2 boys reportedly that were stabbed with a knife. Now, no one died in these cases. They were just being attacked viciously, and no one ever got caught from it. And when I read that, it boggled me, because in the 19th century, in the 1800s or whatever, it's crazy that no one would follow these kids into remote areas and say something like, you need to get from behind here or anything, but they didn't. And because no one stepped up when they seen this, and that whole boys will be boys theory probably was going around back then, these young boys were attacked viciously, brutal, and they were permanently scarred. So due to the lack of, I don't want to say caring, but just not following up to find out what was going on, these young boys were attacked. And then you just think to yourself, if one person one time would have just kind of tried to step in and stop whatever, or ask at least what was going on, you could have got a good look at who the slightly older kid was, and he would have been arrested a lot sooner. Now, in 1872, Ruth Ann moved the kids to South Boston, and while in South Boston, Jesse continued his attacks. Now, Jesse eventually was caught, and at that time, we didn't know and still don't know if he had killed anyone, but we do know for a fact that he had attacked several more people in South Boston. They finally caught up with him. His case was seen in front of a juvenile court. He was, of course, found guilty, and he was sentenced to a reform school, and he was supposed to be there until he turned 18. Matter of fact, he was going to a reform school. Give me a second. I wrote the name down for you guys. Yes, Jesse was sentenced to a state reform school for boys in Westburg, Massachusetts, and he was supposed to remain there until he turned 18. Now, Jesse did not remain there until he turned 18. He was there for probably about like a year or so because, excuse me, you guys, because February 1874, he was paroled out at the age of 14. He was paroled out back to his mother in South Boston. And I'm going to go ahead and say maybe he had good behavior or something. Who knows? But they let him out. And it's the craziest thing to me because it's like you say 18, and there's reports. Like I found a couple of news clips that was like he was disturbed, he was crazy. Maybe his father, who was a war veteran, by the way, like his father wasn't strict enough. I don't know, but they sent him to this reform school where he stayed for about a year or so, give or take. They don't give me the exact date that he went to jail, but or the exact date that he gets out, but he was 14. So I'm going to say he probably went to, based on his birthday being in November, he probably went to jail at 12, and then he spent a birthday in jail, and then at 14 he was let out of jail. So he probably spent about two birthdays in jail, or if he was already 13. We're not sure exactly when he went to jail. So we can say about a year, probably like a year and a half he spent in jail. And then they sent him home, which was a mistake because in March 1874, a 10-year-old girl from South Boston named Katie went missing. And then on April 22nd, 1874, a mutilated body of a 4-year-old, you guys forgive me if I butcher this name. They found the mutilated body of a 4-year-old boy named Horace. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, but I'm pretty sure it's Horace. And police immediately suspected Jesse. Like, as soon as Jesse came home, then all of a sudden, just like Katie goes missing, and then they find his mutilated body in a marsh in the back of the woods, which is Jesse's MO, by the way. And instead of this time, this young boy coming out not mutilated, but coming out scarred, he was dead and mutilated. And Jesse is what I think is, well, we watch like Criminal Minds and they call you like a progressive killer, and they say that you gain confidence. And in my head, I feel like Jesse was gaining confidence up until he got caught. And then when he got caught, it was kind of like putting a lion in a cage and not feeding it for a few days or so. And then you finally let that lion out and it attacks, and you're not understanding why is this lion attacking. Like, it was so like, trying to make something docile or trying to like dim something down is what they did to Jesse when they decided to put Jesse in jail. And what happened was he was able to act as if he had changed, and they paroled him out to his mother you might as well say maybe about a year and a half, 2 years later. They parole him out to his mom, and he goes back to attacking. Now, what Jesse did this time that made them kind of like not think it was him for the Katie thing right away was that when he killed Katie, he put Katie's body in his mother's basement. And that is where they ultimately ended up finding Katie when they linked the 4-year-old mutilation to Jesse. They also searched his home and things like that. And that is when they found Katie inside of Jesse's mother's basement. And they don't know how long she had been down there. They were offering $500 rewards. I think I have clips in here for you guys so that you can see it. They have reward clips in here for anybody that could find Katie and it was to anything to find because Katie was already dead. Jesse went back to his son, his regular OMO when he got with Horace, and he left Horace in the back of a marsh dead. That is where he was attacking the young kids at first. They got him sentenced to be in a reform school until he turned 18 in the first place. So I just don't understand what was happening where you're like, oh, he's a good kid now. All in 2 years, he's a good kid now. Go ahead and let him out. Because what you did was you unleashed something worse because he had been suppressed. All that purging he was doing prior, and he wasn't able to do that anymore. So now the escalation had to happen, and it had to happen fast, and he took 2 lives. Now when he did this, he ended up going to the Supreme Court Justice because at 14 years old, you're not really sure how to trial this kid, but he was tried and he was sentenced to life in jail. And from the age of 14 up until the day that they killed him, he did remain in jail. He was hung, and that is how Jesse died. They hung him. That was it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please stay tuned to the next video. I love you guys. Bye.